I work for a company named BGMod in Canada. So we are certified partner of Zabbix. So everything related to Zabbix come to us. And today I want to talk about monitoring as code. A word of warning because I'm just going to touch a little bit. This is a very huge topic, monitoring as code. Everybody heard about infrastructure as code. So I try to apply the same principles to monitoring as code. And I'm going to slightly touch it due to time limitation on this. So, let's not talk about auto discovery and auto registration of hosts. I think these methods are perfect for initial onboarding of devices, but regular day-to-day production use of any infrastructure, these methods are kind of, I would say, weird because you don't know what's added to your monitoring, what's removed from your monitoring. So when you add hosts to Zabbix or delete hosts from Zabbix manually, this is actually very time-consuming work. Lots of clicking. You can make errors, assign wrong template, put hosts in wrong group, etc., etc. And a huge disadvantage of this method is you don't track changes. Who added what? It's visible only in audit, in internal Zabbix audit log that nobody actually can analyze efficiently at this moment. Well, you can, but again, it takes a lot of coding, I would say, scripting. So how we are going to solve this problem? So what do you want to achieve? I want to define Zabbix objects, object configuration in the file or set of files. So we can keep all this configuration in a version control system like Git. Then I want to automate this objects creation. By the way, by objects, I mean hosts, templates, triggers, whatever you configure in Zabbix UI. These are all objects. Plus, the third feature we want to implement is to bring configuration to define state. Well, you define state in a file or set of files, and then you run some automation to bring your Zabbix configuration, your Zabbix objects configuration to this defined state, discarding any changes that have been made since deployment manually in Web UI. You don't want anybody to touch Web UI. Let's start. So first of all, tools. There is only one tool, Ansible, perfect open source, supported by Red Hat, Ansible, automation, very widely known everywhere, so we use Ansible. Plus, to communicate with Zabbix to actually implement these changes, we use Ansible collection named community.zabbix. Again, this is open source. You see the link here. You're welcome to contribute. And source code for this demo, if you want to review it later, again, the link is on your screen. Now, this is my infrastructure. So I just deployed in Akamai Cloud several VMs. You see APP VMs, web VMs, and Zabbix VMs, PGDB as well. So basically, we have databases, applications, and web servers. As you can see, we have 3 Zabbix VMs. This is real Zabbix I deployed just 1 hour ago for this demo. Database, server, and web UI. Again, we are going to monitor all this stuff in our Zabbix. Now let's build our Ansible inventory. So everything in Ansible is defined. I mean, your infrastructure is defined in Ansible inventory. We have groups, databases, app servers, front ends, and Zabbix. Again, you see databases contains only Zabbix DB01, Zabbix database host, plus some Postgres DB server. Application servers, this is our actual Zabbix server, and some other application servers. Front ends, Zabbix web UI, and 2 Apache servers. Zabbix group is just for convenience. One host can belong to multiple groups in Ansible. So this is our initial file. We define what hosts we have in our infrastructure. Now, freshly deployed Zabbix. I just deployed it. You all know that you have nothing, just Zabbix server host, default host. Let's talk about configuration a little bit here, because we need to talk to cloud, to Akamai Cloud, to talk to VMs, and we need to talk to actually Zabbix REST API. All Ansible modules behind the scene use REST API calls to Zabbix. So here we define API token to talk to cloud and some variables that we need to provide to Ansible modules to talk to Zabbix REST API. Very simple. Oh, by the way, this is Ansible group by default. It includes all the hosts. So these variables will be applied to all the hosts. Okay, let's start with our Ansible playbook. First of all, we need to find all hosts' IP addresses, provided we don't know them because it's a cloud. First, we need just linode cloud instance info module to query all the VMs currently running in our cloud infrastructure. Then we digest it and we assign Ansible host special variable, special Ansible variable, just to be able to communicate with those virtual machines. And we need this IP later to add these hosts, all these hosts to our Zabbix as interface. And we defined web UI. So we found IP address for Zabbix-web01. This is our Zabbix web UI. We will need this IP to talk to Zabbix REST API. This is just preparation. Now, we need to create host groups, and we will be creating host groups according to our Ansible inventory. So first of all, we say, okay, we'll be talking to Zabbix web UI. Then we construct a special variable host groups that has all host groups defined in our Ansible inventory. And we exclude from this list group all. This is special group for Ansible, and ungroup, again, special group for Ansible. We don't want to create them in Zabbix. These are just Ansible default groups. Then we just take this list of all the groups defined in Ansible inventory and use community Zabbix group module to create all these groups. So this code basically will create all the groups defined in our inventory inside Zabbix server. This is just a command we are running. So Ansible playbook, we use inventory meetup-monitoring.yml file we just created, and we run playbook monitoring.yml. This is what we had by default when we deployed Zabbix on the left. You see, after running this playbook, we see all our groups created in Zabbix: app servers, databases, front ends, and Zabbix. Now let's proceed with defining other stuff in inventory. We need to apply templates to our hosts, right? So we introduce a variable x_templates. And for databases, we want to apply Postgres by Zabbix agent 2 template. For all front ends, we want to apply Apache by Zabbix agent template. And for only one host, Zabbix-server01 in group app_servers, we want to apply Zabbix server health, because Zabbix is running only on this one, only on this host, not on all hosts in this group. So we define this variable in inventory, what templates we want to have where. Then we go to Ansible playbook and say, okay, create a task, add update hosts. We are using Zabbix _host module from our collection. Host name, this is inventory host name. It comes from inventory, obviously. Host groups, we include this host in the group defined in Ansible inventory, and we link to our templates defined in our inventory for particular this host. Plus, we link all our servers, to template Linux by Zabbix agent. These are all Linux boxes. And we put all our servers, virtual machines in group Linux servers. That's it. So you see by default, again, hosts, we have only Zabbix server. Now we run the same Ansible playbook, exactly the same command. We just added hosts to our playbook. And we got this. We see all the hosts added to Zabbix, plus every host has a template assigned according to our inventory. Databases have PostgreSQL by Zabbix Agent 2. Apache, all web servers have Apache by Zabbix Agent. And Zabbix server has Zabbix server health template, exactly as we define in our inventory. Hosts grouping. You see, all the hosts belong to groups according to our inventories. App servers, databases, frontends. So by this simple code, we just created all these hosts, assigned our templates, and put all the hosts in respective groups according to our inventory. Now, what about extra templates, like not default templates? Everybody creates their own templates. Sure, why not? This is basically you have to create or export templates, your custom templates in JSON format. You can do it in YAML as well, it doesn't matter. I just, for example, for this demo, I created very simple template named my cool template. It has only one item. It monitors port 10050 on the host. Sorry. I put this file into files folder, and then again I go to inventory and say, okay, Zabbix server 01 has to have this template assigned. And I introduce new variable, x custom templates files. This is a list of files defining templates that I want to import. Now we need to implement this in our playbook. Again, I create a task, import custom templates. And I go through all template files defined in this variable, and just basically using Zabbix _template Ansible module, import those templates. Running this playbook, again, exactly the same command line. You see Zabbix server 01 now has my cool template assigned. We imported this template from a file and assigned it to Zabbix server 01, exactly as we defined in our Ansible inventory, our source of truth. Now, one more problem left. Remember we talked about we need to add hosts, remove hosts. Basically, Zabbix server has to reflect what we defined in our Ansible inventory. We don't have Zabbix server defined in our Ansible inventory. So that needs to be deleted to bring Zabbix state according to Ansible, to what is defined in our Ansible inventory. Okay, let's do it. Now we get all the hosts configured in Zabbix. Get all currently configured hosts in Zabbix. We use Zabbix host info module for that. And out variable will have a lot of data about every host configured in Zabbix. We just filter this data. This is all Ansible stuff. If you don't know, you can Google and inspect Ansible documentation. Here in this variable, we just have a list of hosts, only host names of all hosts configured in Zabbix. Now we just do a difference between all the hosts configured in Zabbix and all the hosts defined in our inventory. Obviously, difference is what we want to be deleted, because we don't want extra hosts in Zabbix, those hosts that not defined in our Ansible inventory. And again, we use Zabbix host module and define state absent. We want to remove those hosts from Zabbix. Run our playbook again. Voila, Zabbix server is gone. So now we have in Zabbix only hosts defined in our inventory, put them in appropriate groups, and assign appropriate templates, all in accordance with our Ansible inventory. Artos, do I have like 2-3 minutes for demo?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, let's try that. This is live. You see my screen. Akamai, I deployed all these hosts. Web UI. This is my public IP. Here it is. Oops, I can type. Okay, there is nothing except default host. Okay, Zabbix server. Let's run our playbook. And by the way, this is our inventory we created throughout this demo. You see everything you saw in the demo. Okay, playbook finished already. Let's switch back to our Zabbix. Refresh. Voila, you see all the hosts we define in our inventory. All templates assigned, my cool templates, everything according to our inventory. What else here? I guess nothing, we are done. You see all the hosts here, results of execution. This is, as I said, like very brief introduction to Ansible, to monitoring as code. If you find, if you're interested in this topic, go to our company YouTube channel. I have 3 videos that cover this topic in much more detail. You will probably, they're very lengthy, but maybe it's worth for you to watch them. Plus, I wanted to show you that here we touched only hosts, templates, and host groups inside Zabbix. But this collection, community.zabbix, has a lot of different Zabbix objects. All you see here, you can basically create, delete, modify to bring up to your defined somewhere Ansible inventory. So you define what you want to see, run playbook, you have it in Zabbix. Done. Any changes anybody made using web UI will be discarded. This way, you bring your Zabbix configuration up to some version tracked files. Zabbix inventory can be very complex. It can have multiple files, multiple groups, and so on. Again, this is very brief introduction. This is again open source. It's in GitHub. Feel free to contribute. I'm one of the maintainers of this repository. So I'll gladly review your changes. We'll talk. I'll merge. We'll release new version. Everybody is welcome. I'm done. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Evgeny. A couple of questions. Which version of Ansible and Python are used?
Let's take a look. Here you go, Ansible 2.14. It's actually old a little bit. And Python 3.9.5.
Thank you. Next question. Is there a public repository available that contains Ansible playbooks for managing all scenarios on Zabbix servers?
Playbook, you create playbook yourself. There are examples, yes. But how and what actually, what objects you want to manage inside Zabbix, it's totally up to you. Again, you can use all these modules inside your playbook or role. And you can, I don't know, define host macros or script. You can create scripts, services, templates, users, authentication. These modules, like every module, deals with only one Zabbix object. Like for example, Zabbix action, it lets you do whatever you want with your actions, trigger actions, other actions. You can modify them, create, delete. And this list continuously grows. This repository is actively, I would say, supported and is developing. So yeah, this list of different Zabbix objects is going to grow with time.
Thank you. We have a couple more questions. Is it possible to update all the agents around the infrastructure with Ansible, such as copying the configuration and comparing it with the new one if there is something new, and then updating the agent? This way we don't log into every host VM and update the agent itself.
Yeah, of course. It's actually behind. It's not in this presentation. It's here. One of the videos deals with the first. It's actually 3 videos. The first one is just how to deploy virtual machines. Then the second one, how to configure Zabbix infrastructure, including agents, server, database, web UI. And the third one is about monitoring as code.
Thank you. Next up, what if you need to add newly discovered Zabbix hosts to the inventory? Do you use dynamic Ansible inventories in databases for such tasks?
You can, it's up to you, but I'd rather go to my inventory and add the hosts I'm adding manually. Because again, I add some hosts, commit, okay, this date, this person added those hosts, done. But yeah, dynamic inventory works. We have it in here. It's not listed here, but it's in GitHub for this collection. It works. You can build dynamic, like for example, for initial onboarding, you can build dynamic inventory and then adjust it according to your needs.
Another question, can you share the GitHub URL again?
This one?
Yes, maybe you can copy it in the chat real quick or something. If possible.
Okay. I think it's possible. Why not?
Someone already pasted it in the chat. You're good.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, guys. What community module do you use to update template list on hosts?
This one?
Zabbix template
Zabbix
module.
underscore template.
Thank you. And final question. Why use Ansible? In Zabbix 6, there is a script item, and in combination with service discovery, we can run a script when the desired service is detected on a host, which through the API will add this host to the desired group or add tags or add a template. All you need to do is place JSON in GitLab so that Zabbix can read it, or you can describe the whole mechanism inside a webhook.
Yes, it's the way. It's up to you. Again, but this is kind of auto discovery. You're talking about automation, automatically discovering some services. In my environment and environments, I would say I prefer to have exactly what is running where and how I monitor it. Automation is cool, but in this case, automatically detect configuration. I don't like it. So you need to know what's running where. Well, it's up again. It's my point of view. What's running where and how to monitor it. Yes, you can do it. Automatic discovery. You can automatically discover hosts like auto registration or just discovery. But for production, it's up to you. Again, it's just different approach. Monitoring as code is just different approach.
And we got another answer from a community member. Probably Ansible is needed here, first of all, to keep Zabbix in consistency with some inventory automatically.
Exactly. So this is the point. Monitoring is code. Like you define it in code and bring everything in accordance to your code, to what you defined in code.
Okay, and that's all for the questions. Thank you a lot, Evgeny. Like I said, these presentations will be available on YouTube, so you'll be able to catch up on them and slowly follow up with what Evgeny and the rest of the presenters showed us. Thanks a lot. I hope it inspired people to automate with or maybe even without Ansible. Thank you. So that's it for our presentations. Before we leave, just a final reminder that Zabbix Summit 2024, early bird tickets available now. Call for papers is open October 3rd to 5th in Riga, Latvia. If you, like Evgeny or other our speakers, have a use case, a scenario when it comes to automation, when it comes to monitoring best practices, Zabbix features, a unique case study, whatever else that you want to share with us, please sign up with your speech. Or if you simply wish to attend, get the early bird tickets and you'll be able to check out the latest Zabbix features, most interesting case studies, network with community members, attend the parties, and you'll leave with not just new knowledge, but also some new friends along the way. Similarly, we have Zabbix Conference Benelux, hosted in Utrecht, May 24th to 25th, 2024. Same rules as with the summit apply here. A conference, a more local conference. If you're nearby, hop in, greet us. Maybe you want to present a speech. Once again, this is your opportunity. We're very forthcoming to all of the potential speakers. So if it's your first time, don't worry, approach us. We'll help you hash out all of the sort of beginner questions and get you on the stage as soon as possible with your case study or a feature overview or whatever else you want to share with us. As for this meetup, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We covered a broad spectrum of things here, from SNMP to usability to automation. We will have more meetups and more events coming up. Follow our events page, and we'll also notify you via our social networks. And thank you once again, guys, for your questions, for your attention and your interest. Have a good evening, good day, good morning, depending on where you're from. And I will see you next time. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.